Hi, this is Asma with aiXplain, and today I'll be demonstrating how you can build an AI research agent using aiXplain's design. aiXplain's design helps you create scalable and production-ready pipelines that automate complex tasks. In this tutorial, we'll be learning how to develop an agentic pipeline which is capable of intelligently handling user queries, conducting web searches, and providing detailed and contextual responses with minimal coding. The core features is that there's an input node which takes in the query from the user and a routing assistant that helps make a decision of whether to follow the first path or the second path. The first path provides a direct response via the answer generator, and the second follows a query optimizer and a Google search result for external context. Finally, we have the contextual synthesizer, which allows us to use all of these intermediate results and the original query to then formulate a more research-backed result. So let's get started. Okay, so we will start with aiXplain's design platform with a blank canvas. To begin, we need an input from the user. For that, we're going to get an input node in. We're going to call this query, and this is going to help us get information from the user that we're going to use with our agents. To this, I'm going to attach a model. We're going to call this model our routing assistant, and this is going to help us route the query from the user. We're going to use a LLM text generation functionality, and we're going to populate this with an asset from aiXplain's marketplace. Here, I'm using Llama 3.1. And this is the hosted by Grok, which is what we're going to use in our model. To this model, I'm going to add a prompt. The prompt we're going to use is this. You are an expert at routing a user question to either the generation stage or the web search. Use the web search for questions that require more context for a better answer or recent events. Otherwise, it can skip and go straight to the generation phase to respond. You do not need to be stringent with the keywords in the questions related to these topics. Give a binary choice, web search, or generate based on the question. Return the JSON with a single key choice with no preamble or explanation. You can customize these options here, but I'm not going to do that right now. And connect query to the routing assistant. And it's going to route the input as a question input for this node. To this, I'm going to add a decision node. This decision node is going to basically help us route the decision. It's going to be equal, and the value to compare over here is going to be the choice, web search. So if it's web search, it goes to one of the paths or it goes to the other. So I'm going to link this to this, and this is going to be the comparison value, while also providing it with the query, which is going to be the pass-through. I'm going to start with the simpler workflow, which is the path 1. Over here, the path 1 is going to be just a easy answer generator. Using the same functionality of the previous model, which is text generation with large language models and Llama 3.1 with Grok. This is going to connect to this in case the output is false. It's going to be a simple text generation output, while also providing the query. And everything else over here for this model stays the same. And the output we're going to get is going to be a direct response. So if there's a query that does not require a lot of additional context, it's going to directly generate a response, and this will just get connected to this. And that's our first path. For the second path, which is slightly more complex, we're going to have a query optimizer as our first agent. This way, for the function, we're again going to select text generation and Llama Grok, Llama 3.1 with Grok. And over here, we're going to provide an additional prompt. The prompt we're providing for the query optimizer is that it is an expert at crafting web search queries for research questions. More often than not, a user will ask a basic question that we wish to learn more about. However, it might not be in the best format. So it's going to reword this query to be the most effective web search string possible and return the outcome with no preamble or explanation. While everything else remains the same, we're going to link the decision node to this in case it's true. And we're going to provide the question. This is then going to get connected to a utility node, which is our Google search node. we are going to populate this with the Google search model, link this to this, and once the Google search outcome comes with more context and more search results, we would need to format this to be in a more readable format, for which we're going to use a script node. For this, I'm just going to upload a script file. The code for this is pretty straightforward, and the output data type is going to be text. The input parameters is what we're going to provide, and it's going to be context data, and it's going to be text. So this is going to get formatted under the script node. I'm going to name this post process context. And this is what's going to go into the final node, which is the context synthesizer. This is again going to use a large language-based text generation model, and it's going to use Llama 3.1. And once this gets connected to this, we're also going to provide connect the decision node to this as well, in case it's true. And it's going to give us, before I do that, I do need to provide the context synthesizer with my prompt. The prompt I'm providing is that it is a AI assistant for research question tasks that synthesizes web search results. Strictly use the following pieces of web search context to answer the question. If you don't know the answer, just say that you don't know. Keep the answers concise, but provide all of the details that you can in the form of a research report. Only make direct references to match if provided in the context. Once I do this, you can then come here and select web context as the information being provided as input. And over here, I'm going to provide question, if it's true. We're finally at the end stage where we provide an output node. The output is going to be a reference. And this is the formatted output that we're going to receive. Once you're happy with your pipeline workflow, you can choose to run this. I'm just going to call this research agent. I'm going to save this. And you can try it out here. The prompt I'm going to provide this is that what is the latest news about OpenAI? And there you have it. You have a response generated by the pipeline. If you would like to integrate this into your workflows, you can go into the integration tab and copy the code here, and also create your access key under user profile. Thank you for watching.